Hi, this is Rich Boren. I'm the owner of Cruiser Services, and this is our 5th video in a series where we're reviewing all of the Schenker Watermaker components, talking about what they do, how they work, and as importantly, what to think about as you're planning your installation. So in this video, we're going to talk about the Prefilter. This is the Prefilter unit for the Zen 30. The Zen 30 and the Wiki use this 5-inch filter canister. All the other Watermaker models use the standard 10-inch. The white filter housing will be on your Zen 50 and some of the other units. The 5-micron filter will be inside a higher pressure canister for your larger units like the Zen 100 and the Zen 150. Now, attached to the 5-micron pre-filter canister, you're going to notice an accumulator. On the Zen 30 and the Zen 50, you have the SureFlow pressure accumulator, which is a pressure dampener device. On the larger units, you'll have a slightly larger one since they're handling more flow at a slightly higher pressure. So what does this pressure dampener do? Why is it there? It is basically a canister with an air diaphragm charged to a specific pressure. Because as the check valves change the direction of the flow inside of the energy recovery system, it's a momentary pressure spike. So you'll see the heartbeat on the pressure gauge of about 1 bar on the gauge. The pressure dampener will minimize and dampen that pressure cycle. So there's an air Schrader valve here on the base to be able to charge it up and check its pressure. So you don't have to do anything to this or have any thinking about it in terms of the installation. It's just connected to the 5-micron pre-filter. It's on the outlet side. So here we have the inlet and the outlet. And it's the same with the larger units. You have the inlet on this side and the outlet after the pressure accumulator. Pressure dampener is another way to say it. So where does this go in the flow path we've been talking about? It's between the outlet of the feed pump and the inlet of your ERS, your energy recovery system. So this is going to be mounted plumbing-wise on the outlet of your feed pump, on the inlet to the energy recovery pump. So it's going to filter everything smaller than 5 microns, goes through the membrane, through the ERS, doesn't cause a problem. Anything, and it goes out with the brine discharge. Anything particle-wise larger than 5 microns is going to get trapped in the pre-filter, and that's its job. So in terms of mounting, it's in that plumbing loop between those two, the feed pump and the ERS Watermaker group unit. In that line, it can be anywhere, because you could do 15 to 20 feet of tubing from the outlet of the feed pump to the inlet of the ERS unit. So this can be anywhere in there. Now, you're going to need to change the pre-filter anywhere from hourly, if you're making water in nasty water where you shouldn't be making water really anyway, to typically every 30 to 60 days, you're changing this 5-micron pre-filter. So no matter how careful I am, I always spill a little bit of water when I do it. So you don't want to mount this above some electronic or electrical devices because you're going to be removing this filter bowl, installing a new filter, and most likely you'll spill a little seawater in the process. Now, typically it's mounted vertical on a vertical bulkhead. That's really how it should be mounted, because when you go to change the pre-filter, even though the filter housing can work mounted, let's say in an extreme case on its side, the filtering will still work fine, but you won't be able to put the new filter inside the canister, screw it onto the top housing piece with the filter standing in the middle. It would fall to the side. So we have had some clients that space-wise, they wanted to mount this like this. as a compact install. Well, it works like that. What they did is leave enough hose, and they had the mount easily removable where during operation, the filter was at an angle or on its side. But to change the pre-filter, they dismounted it, stood it up, changed the filter, screwed it back in, and then slid it back into its position. You know, on a boat, sometimes there's many ways to do things, but in 99% of the installs, this gets mounted vertically on a bulkhead. So one thing to pay attention to, and I'll review it in more detail when we talk about troubleshooting and that type of things, what can go wrong. But when you're changing a pre-filter, if you picture what's happening, the solids are sticking on the outside of the filter housing, of the filter element inside. So as you take it out and pull the element out, the chunks that were on the outside of the filter now fall into the bottom of the bowl. If you don't dump that out and make sure the bowl is clean, if you just drop a new filter element inside the bowl and screw it on, some of those large chunks can fall into the center part of the bowl here and then have a straight path into the Watermaker. I've seen Watermakers be damaged like that. So when you change a pre-filter, always make sure your filter bowl bottom is clean from debris before you just put it back on. But this is a relatively simple device. You know, they're a little bit larger on the larger systems, but the key here is access to be able to change this pre-filter on a routine basis. Every 30, 60 days is normal. From a maintenance standpoint, you're not really doing much to the accumulator. Every once in a while, you just want to check the pressure with the standard Schrader valve, and the pressure is going to be listed in your manual. Different units have different set points for this, so I'm hesitant to say what the Zen 30 is because then someone will see that for the Zen 100 and kind of get confused. But it's a simple device. Does this have to be together? Well, no, not really. I mean, I guess you could separate this if space makes this easier to be somewhere else spatially and have some tube with some hose barbs in between. That's certainly fine. We just mount these together for an ease of installation for most of the installs that are out there. So if you notice, there's no pressure gauge on the pre-filter. So how do you know when the pre-filter's dirty? Well, one way you'll know, when we looked at our video of the feed pump, there's a pressure transducer on the outlet of the feed pump. That's pushing into the pre-filter. So if this pre-filter ever gets so loaded up with debris and fine particulates that it's going to increase the pressure on the outlet of your feed pump, the pressure alarm will trip off and tell you you have high pressure. So anytime you get a high pressure alarm, first thing you want to do is make sure you have a clean pre-filter, because that could be a sign of that dirty pre-filter due to high pressure. One question I get about the mounting. If you see, this unit is set up for inlet and outlet and to be mounted on a bulkhead. And every once in a while, a client will call me, Rich, it's just the layout of my boat. I need the inlet to be on this side and the outlet to be here, but I can't mount it. There's no mount here. Well, that's easy to do. If you just unscrew these 4 mounts, flip the bracket around, then you can reverse the direction and have the mount be on this side. That's the same for the activated carbon filter as well. You can flip around the mount to the other side to reverse the flow through the system. But we need to maintain, this is the inlet, this is the outlet side of the canister, because we want the water flow to go from outside the pre-filter to the inside of the pre-filter element. And there's actually an arrow on the top of the filter housing. The filter housing is flow directional. We don't want to change that during our install. So if we need the flow instead of this direction to be this direction, we can flip it around, turn the mount around, 180 degrees, and change the direction, but still maintain the pre-filter is first, the accumulator is second. And just as we could make changes with the carbon filter, You can have a straight coming out here. You can have an elbow coming in here. Those spare fittings and elbows and hose barbs come with the Watermaker kit. So maybe you need an elbow over here and a straight here. That's something you can do. This is just how we by default put it together for you, and we found it works for most installations. Does this need to be mounted above or below the water line? Well, this doesn't really care. The Prefilter and Accumulator group, the ERS, the big black box unit that is the Watermaker group, that doesn't have an above or below the waterline requirement. It's basically where it can fit spatially with the right amount of hose between the boat. The components, again, that need to be below the waterline, your raw water strainer, your T, and your feed pump. The Prefilter, Accumulator, and the ERS, as we'll talk about in our next video, it can be above the waterline or below the waterline without an issue.